Now, today's worksheet, I think, is very straightforward because of the topics, right? I see very little errors. So hold on, present. Okay, so if I were to go through, I'll go through quite quickly. I think the MCQ questions, only question 6 was a concern. Okay, those of you who have access to the Google Sheet, you can see also. All right. Yeah. Shika got everything correct. Delia as well. It's pretty straightforward, right? This particular one. So of course, which of the following shows that the organism Z is not a plant? We know the answer is C. Okay, why is it that reproduce by spores is not our option? Why is it that it's not our choice? Can you tell me in the chat? Tell me, why is that so? Why is it that we can't choose reproduce by spores? Okay. If you can answer this correctly, then it's good. Yeah. Okay, an example. Okay, good. Tell me, yeah. Good. Delia, you also key in. Yeah. So the rest of you, how about Dora? Dora, what do you think? Can I say that because it reproduces by spores, so that's why it cannot be a plant? Cannot, right? Can you give me one example? Just one example to prove to me that there's actually something that is a plant and then reproduces by spores. Yeah, so all of you got it in. Yes, very good. Because ferns, right? Yeah, non-flowering plants like ferns also reproduce by spores. Okay, good. So we know answer is C. Let's quickly go on. W, X, Y, and Z, they are part of the human digestive system. So what are the organs? W, X, Y, Z. You should know by now. Okay, what is the easiest way of getting this answer? Someone tell me, what is the easiest way for you to get this answer? What was your special power over here? Elimination. Okay, so which one actually help you to eliminate very easily? Okay. Which one do you choose? Absorb water as well as absorb the digested food, right? Yes. So if you are looking at this, good. So you know absorption of water is actually happening in the large intestine, right? So we have eliminated B and D. So the next will be to decide for W. Okay, W must be the small intestine, right? So this is where we get the answer. Very good. Thank you so much. So answer is C. Let's go on. Okay, this one, study the diagrams below. Which of the statements are correct? Fertilization happens at part P. Okay, any problem here? Let me just check how many people got this wrong. I think very few only. Question 3, only one person got it wrong. Yeah, so this is not an issue. Okay, this is not an issue. Okay, so I'll just go very quickly. Okay, answer is actually just B. Okay, so B only. That's why we choose option A. Any question? Let's see. Dora, you got this wrong, right? Do you understand now? Okay, a fertilized egg. Oh, the spelling is wrong. Fertilized egg cell will develop in parts N and O. Okay, parts N and O. That's not true. All right. This one is wrong. Okay. Next, question 4. Also, one person got it wrong. Two person got it wrong. Okay. So this organisms actually live in coastal area. All right. So how do you actually derive your answer? Can somebody share with me? How did you derive this answer? Yes? Okay, good. You look at the graph, right? So you look at the graph, you identify that the temperature is at 10 to 20. Yeah, correct, Yashika. Thank you so much. Oh, you need to do. How many of you did this long ago? When do you do this question? Tongyi, when do you do this? You did it. Okay. Yeah. Delia did it on Sunday. Yashika, you did it much earlier also, right? Okay. Yeah. So you're supposed to look at this point, like what Yashika pointed out. Okay, the highest point, right? Okay, so you look at the temperature is really between 10 to 20. That's why we choose B. Yashika, you did it this morning. I see. Hold on. Yeah, I exported the results around 2 o'clock. Yeah, around 2 o'clock. Yeah, so this is the point where you have the most number of Q. Yeah, so you want to rear Q, of course, you will choose this temperature. Thank you very much. Question 5. Let's look at question 5. Question 5, 2 errors. The food web below here shows food relationship between 3 organisms. So we have organisms P, Q, and R. All right, this is the food relationship. So how do you look at this? If you look at PQR, can you tell me which one is the producer? Which one is the producer? P. Very good. Okay, so P is the producer. You are fast, huh? Okay, so which are actually plant eater? Okay, all are plant eater. No, R is a plant eater. What do we call Q? Yeah. Okay, what do you call Q? Q is the plant and animal eater. Good. Okay, so you got to know this. Now, during winter, organism S move into the habitat and fed on organisms P and Q. So S came in, okay? So P and Q became its food. The graph below shows number of organisms Q over a period of time, at which point on the graph the organism S move into the habitat. At which point? Okay, now you're looking at the number of organism Q. So at which point do you think it went in? At point C. Why not D? D is the part where I see Q being the least in terms of numbers. Why? Why don't you choose D? Let me get someone to answer, okay? Tammy, you want to try? You can unmute yourself and say it. Why don't we actually choose D? D is the part is the lowest, right? Isn't it the time where, you know, all the Q got eaten? Do I make sense? Tammy, don't be scared, Tammy. Tammy, if you're scared, then you can type. If you're not sure, you can just tell me not sure, okay? Yeah, I don't want to stress you out, but when I ask you and you can answer, you will actually improve also. Yeah. Yeah, typing, I can see. Very good. Have I shown you how you look like in front of me, all of you? I think Yashika, you have seen before. You have seen, okay. So this is how you guys look like. I'll take a screenshot. Okay, so this is my computer. Okay. Don't laugh, okay? While she's typing, let me entertain you a little bit. This is how you look. Okay, so I have one computer with all your faces like this. So now you know whatever actions that you have, whether you turn on the camera, whether Chagi is around, I can see. Yeah, so that's how I tell. So this is exactly my screen. Okay. Yeah, you look like that. You can tell that you look very tired, right, Salman? That's why I know you're tired. How else will I know? Yeah, I saw something moving, even though your background is blurred. So Tammy, have you finished typing in? Let me see. Okay. If Tammy, you are very scared of answering, don't worry, okay? We will help you out. Now, students usually struggle with graph. Okay, and they find it very difficult. Okay, so while Tammy is actually typing, you can see my screen, right, all of you? Now, we choose the answer to be C because whenever you introduce something new into the environment, into the habitat, it takes time for the changes to be seen. Do you agree? It takes time for the changes to be seen. So when I introduce organism S into this particular habitat, okay, S, of course, will start to feed on P and then feed on Q, right? Okay, so we are only looking at the graph for Q. So Q will gradually decrease in number because previously Q wasn't eaten by anything. Correct or not? Previously, Q wasn't eaten by anything. Okay. It was in fact very happily living a life like a king. Nobody can actually do anything to it. Now, S is here, S starts to eat this particular Q. That's why Q is dropping in the numbers, okay, gradually until a point in time. Can you tell me when is actually this period? When did, because S came in, right, at a certain time, when do you think this season will be? If I change this to an open-ended question, I can ask you this. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, because after this time, something else happened to Q, right? Read the question. What did the question say? What did the question say? The question says, during winter, organism S moved into the habitat. So after winter, what do you have? Do you all know the season? Okay, if you don't know the season, you can say end of winter also can. If let's say you're being asked questions like this, it's spring. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Singapore, we don't have that, but if you were asked questions like this, they say only during winter, organism S moved into the habitat, right? Then there's a period here where you see the number of Q is increasing. Can y'all see that? The number of Q is starting to increase. That means S has left. Does that make sense to you? Yeah? You all can understand what I'm saying? Okay, good. Yeah, you all don't learn in school. Correct. Last time I learned it when I was in primary school. Teachers also teach us about the seasons. That's how I learned it, not in science. We learn many different things. We learn about, in primary school, we already take the compass, right? We have to go out of the classroom to explore the different directions. Okay, north, south, east, west. We even read the different degrees. Yeah. So the curriculum changed a lot. We even go to the pond and then we start to, look for tadpoles, etc. So, I mean, times change now. Yeah, now north, south, east, west is in mathematics. Correct. Okay, so if I were to ask you in the open-ended question like this, okay, evidence will definitely be, okay, the number of D increase after that, right? Sorry, not D, Q increase from point D onwards, suggesting that S has left the habitat. Okay, can I go on? Okay, next, the diagram below shows a food web. Based on the food web above or at the side, which of the following is correct? We have quite a number of you getting this wrong. Okay, we have a number of you getting this wrong. So you have this food web, you can tell, right? Okay, we have A, we have B, C, D, E, F, G, H, L. Can you identify the producers? Can you identify the producers? You're very smart to do that, yeah? Okay. Okay, producers, we have A. So A is here, right? And then we have D. Correct, good. And then we have G. Yeah, G is in a position where it's difficult to identify. Because usually when we draw the food chain or food web, we are very careful about drawing it where you can